Hi, Scott from Digital Fish with a how-to on the basics of shore jigging. First, the gear. The rod is probably the most important piece of gear because if you want to jig all day, it needs to be light and powerful, which means it will have a lot of carbon in its construction, which can be expensive. I have a Jigging Master shore game rated for PE 1 to 3 line. It's made for shore jigging but casts light stick baits and metal lures when high speed spinning really well too. Shore jigging rods aren't cheap, but they are versatile. A rod from 9 to 10 feet long and rated for 1 to 3 PE or 2 to 4 PE line is perfect. Next, the jigging action. This depends on the lure that you're working. The free-falling jigs need to be fished in deeper water from a suitable position higher up so the jig gets timed through the water column and not dragged across the bottom where it will snag. You can vary your sweep and timing to make it fall longer or shorter. Experiment with both these techniques and watch your jig in close to see what it looks like first. Here you can see the Shimano Colt Sniper jig working up and down on the edge of the rock ledge, and its fluttering action attracts the fish in close for a look and hopefully a strike. Here's another flat-sided jig to help retain the longest hang time, the Hayabusa Jack Eye. Another type of jig is the kicktail. These are best worked along a snag-free bottom as they kick up puffs of sand and draw a strike. I've found the best range of jigs for this kind of fishing at GoFish. They have stuff that is quite unique and an awesome selection of jigs. As I mentioned, the Shimano Colt Sniper is a flat-sided jig that hangs in the water column and flashes to draw strikes. Jigs with one assist hook is usually better as it is less likely to snag if you bounce on the bottom. Watch some of the action here and see how the jigs work underwater. I'd also recommend getting the little clips, 10-mouth clips, which means you don't have to keep tying and retying when you want to change your jigs. Easy to use, small and very strong. The reel is important, but doesn't have to be specialised. A retrieve of 90 centimeters or more is good with a max drag of 10 kilos if you're fishing PE3. Quality reels that have decent gearing is a good investment. I'm using a Shimano Twin Power and I've attached an aftermarket spool simply because the original Twin Power spool had heavier braid on it for stick baiting, so I use it for several types of fishing. A 20 to 40 pound fluorocarbon leader is a good place to start. The expensive part of shore jigging is getting snagged. Don't use the rod to try and free the lure, rather hold the spool and point the rod at the snag and walk slowly backwards so there is no pressure on the rod. You don't want to break the rod. Another one of my favourites is the Power Jig Jaeger. They come really small and in lots of cool colours. Again, a GoFish specialty. You can use these jigs for boat fishing too. They're very versatile. Check out some of the different species that can be caught on jigs. Here's the kicktail in action again. I don't use big sweeps, rather short jerks and a series of winds with this particular lure. I hooked something big after about 15 to 20 minutes of jigging. It gave me a good scrap. This big fella was over 6 kgs, a really nice fish in perfect condition, caught over the sand and shell. You can see the dent in the kicktail from its teeth, even though it got hooked in the end of its lips. Here's one more fish I've caught while shore jigging. This is a very colourful pigfish. So, there are the basics of shore jigging. Almost addictive as boat jigging, and about as expensive, but you don't have to spend lots of money to give it a go and see if you like it. This is Scott from Digital Fish with content that catches.